as I'm not coming after her, she don't care. Now, if I could get my fat ass inside that little gap right there and maybe push it back.
Yep. I may have to get off and play in the snow. If I find some pure white looking stuff. This is all yellowish brown stuff. Looks like somebody's been down in there in a snow ski or a ski mobile or a four-wheeler or something. There's tracks in there. Looks like maybe, yeah, those look like snowmobile tracks. Ooh, it's pretty. This really hasn't gotten that cold. It's probably dropped maybe 10 degrees since I left camp, but just within the last 3 or 4 miles. So once we hit the snow, it's like, ooh, okay, 10 degrees, but still, it's not that cold. But I'm glad I've got my long handles on. I'm glad I've got all my shells on. And that's really all they are. They're shells. I got a sweater underneath. That's what I'm using as my jacket. Insulation. That's about the only insulation I got. The zip-in liner for this mesh gear it's a little bit waterproof, and it's got, I don't know, 2 or 3 layers maybe, but there's not much fiber in there to keep the cold separated. Togwoti Pass. I was trying to read the damn thing and I couldn't. I missed the damn number. I got another pass coming up, I'm sure.
Yeah, see, she didn't give a damn. As long as I'm not coming after her, she don't care. So I mentioned riding through rain to get here, but
Yep, that's not it. Yeah, maybe we got another pass before. Here we go. Continental Divide, 9658. Yes, sir. So Togwoti was higher than that, but not much. A couple hundred feet, maybe. Probably more like 100. How about that? That would be, if I could park the bike here somewhere, that would be a good landscape.
looks like he's lifting off. What does he have on him? A bar? Maybe carrying a bar off. Oh, people! Wow, it's a rescue! All right. Where the hell did they go? I got a people rescue! Yay! That's cool. That is cool. Hey man, it's a dangerous spot out here. I wonder if they're glad to be off the mountain or they just freaking the frick out. That's a hell of a ride. I wonder how much it's going to cost them. Well, maybe it's one of those, hey, for $500 you get the ride of your lifetime underneath a helicopter. I don't know. Let's get out of here before we find out if there's a fine. Rough road, forward rough. Yeah, well that keeps most people out. That's kind of cool. You got a hill climb for the special people. Alright, we got another camping spot coming up with 2 trees. Let me go in here and see what this thing says. Doesn't look prime, doesn't look thrilling. Wow, that's a hell of a view right there. Holy crap. And we got another one over here in the tree line. Yeah, this would be pretty good. Probably not gonna get anything this good. No camping. I got to my first water crossing. Well, maybe not. Well, I wonder if you can even get a spot later on in the summer. Because this looks, yeah, getting into the trees, but getting away from the doggone view too. But so far, this is totally the stuff that this tiger is good for. Just some mild dirt roads, a little lumpy, no big deal. Oh wow, I got water access. Yeah, this is starting to look like home. Starting to look like home for sure. I may just throw out my hammock for giggles, and then I'll have less of a load to worry about. For giggles, for giggles. Ooh. 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 Wow, this looks pretty good. And I got pretty good sunlight here. Now, the last piece of the puzzle. Do I have internet? I got internet. I'm setting up. Yeah, this is kind of hard to beat, man. Damn, this is hard to beat.
So a question came up in a comment. I read it today. It's probably going to be 2 weeks back, but about this tarp. I really dig the Haven. This is the tarp that it comes with, or the covering, or the whatever they want to call it. It covers. It's pretty good with rain falling straight down. You can stake it out. You can fly it like I do mine, but in situations like this, I don't know, man. I just love this tarp. I've had this thing for 12 years, and I've treated this. I've sealed the ridge line, and I've sealed these pullouts, and I just put some aqua seal on these yesterday, because these things should be. This should be toilet paper in a ditch somewhere by now, because the abuse it's taken and the response it's given me over the years. I just love this, and I basically said to the people who wrote the comments, like, yeah, he really loves that. I think that was Carl. Really loves that tarp. Yeah, I really freaking love this tarp. And it was expensive. It was $150, but all day long, something like that, and it balls up into, I don't know, 6-8 ounces of nothing. And yeah, and it withstands weather like this, and I have complete confidence in this tarp in the worst of weather. And this is pretty bad weather. This is going to be heavy rain. It's already raining over there. It's been blowing like this since I got here, and it's keeping rain out of that Haven, because I don't think that Haven would be able to take the sideways wind plus rain, and I don't want to be wet tonight. So I think that's just one of those things where Haven and everybody else needs to get on board and get something like this, a tarp set up. I mean, it's technical. Setting this thing up is technical. You can see it's a little bit unusual how I have it set up, but The Haven is going sideways in there. And I can't stake it down because it's all river rock in here. Damn, I'm getting blinded. And I've got this big beast of a rock. It would have pulled the stakes out anyway. So winds like this are just insane, but that's, man, I got dust in there. It's some crazy weather. See how I've got that thing rigged up? I can't put stakes in the ground. It's all river rock. It only goes in like an inch. Yeah, and I just barely tied that side over there. Damn, it's come loose over there. Look at what it did with the rock. Look at what it did with the rock. So yeah, there you go. I love this tarp. And Haven did the rest. Good. So it's been gusting like this since I've been here, but that 60-mile-an-hour blast, that was kind of, just shows you, a normal tarp that wasn't made of canvas would have ripped to shreds in that. And it picked up that boulder, and it picked up a 40-pounder on the other side, just flipped it like it was a coin. Yeah. But I like tarps. I like big tarps. I like this one because it's big, it's light, and after 10-12 years it's finally starting to need some love, because I've stretched it and pulled it and done crazy stuff like this, tied it to freaking boulders, and then tried to fly it like a kite in an airplane in a freaking hurricane. Yeah, I love this tarp. I'm gonna do dirty things to it later. That's how much I love it. So that was the squall that just came through. It was pretty brutal. It's kind of been hovering over there on top of the mountain for a while. It came through really quickly. Kind of surprised, but you could see it's still got that, looks like rainfall, but it's not reaching the ground. That's very common out here in the west. Mostly on the drier, the more arid regions like desert, or high altitude like Colorado. I think we're up pretty high. I think we're up still like 7,000 feet maybe here. But yeah, the rain falls and evaporates before it hits the ground. I got some rain, but not, I mean, it was just very few sprinkles. Enough to let me know that it was raining. But yeah, how about this little river? All the river rocks. I don't think I've ever seen this many. Big, small, pink, white, beige, purple, green. Got some big green ones there by the camp. Still a pretty cool day. I don't like being in 60-mile-an-hour storms, but other than that, it was a fun storm. And you can't really see it, but the Tetons are over there. Don't have a real good shot of the Tetons without walking some. Go out there in the river. Actually, I may cross that thing tomorrow, see how far out I can get, see what kind of a good shot I can get. We will see.
The one good thing about this trip is riding back in on this trail. I actually got to have some fun on this thing. This bike loves these little dirt roads. I wish I had a better tire on the front and the rear, but yeah, I would never go this speed with it loaded down. It handles it, it handles it well. I am afraid of the big, huge bumps with the rocks sticking out in the middle of the road, and sand. There's not a lot of sand on this road, but there's some rough spots. And they're kind of hard to see till you ride up on them. So. But yeah, the one good thing is coming in and taking this road like this. I mean, on a dual sport, I'd be on the back wheel. Ooh, here we go. There's the little whoops. Kind of hard to see. They kind of blend in. Yeah, on that G650, boom. I'd be wheeling over these damn whoops. No big deal. Yeah, it's still a beefier version of a street bike. and it's not sprung for my fat ass. So, but how about that freaking awesomeness? I am curious about this four-wheel drive road. Just want to see how far up it I can get before I start slipping and sliding. It's definitely high clearance, and four-wheel drive would probably be a good idea. Yeah, it's starting to get kind of rough here, and now I don't have much choice but to keep going up. This would be difficult with all my gear. And then there's fucking mud up here. Nah. Nah. This is for people with Jeeps. Definitely. And this big old hunk of metal. I'm cooking up some lunch, and I wanted to talk about some strategies because, number one, there's rain coming. And it could be spritzing like it did yesterday, or it could be downpour. It said heavy rain, so I don't know. So that's why I'm not cooking over the fire. I've got a little bit of firewood, so I'd have to collect firewood, I'd have to start the fire, I'd have to keep the fire going, and then it could rain right in the middle of my freaking, while I'm cooking dinner. And it's almost 3 o'clock, so it's about the time it rains every day. It just took me so long to get back. I made 2 trips into Jackson, which was 45 minutes an hour one way. So I spent a large portion of the day racing back and forth, cooking some broccoli, steaming mostly. I like steamed crunchy broccoli, and then I got a rotisserie. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it. Tear me off on these damn legs. That's the easiest thing to get in my mouth quickly. Wow. It's still warm too. So when cooking is questionable, and this is the tip, cooking can be questionable whether or not you're going to get it done. In other words, you got rain coming, you got whatever. You can cook with propane. It's these lulls that scare me. This is a lull. It got kind of windy. Man, that wind came up so fast yesterday. I mean, it was gusting to 15 to 20, and then just bam, out of nowhere. It just came up out of nowhere. I can't believe this chicken didn't leak all over my case. So, I got a knife somewhere. Yeah, so my tip was, I was trying to give you my tip, is when in doubt, throttle out, or just pick up a roasted chicken at the supermarket. I'm surprised how many of these little country towns have a little market in there. You know, they're baking up goods, and I mean, if you think about it, why wouldn't they? Let's get some girl in there cooking up chicken. All you got to do. And this is pretty good. They had lemon. Typically, they have lemon pepper. They have traditional, which is just, I don't know, whatever spices, and they had garlic rosemary. And I forgot that I got that last time. I left it in the store when I realized I didn't have my wallet. Yeah. Yes, yeah. So this is what you do when it's raining and cold outside. You sit up under the tarp and you watch videos. That's Spaz Tech. That's my buddy Carl. Go check out his channel, Spaz Tech.
And don't come to freaking Wyoming in 1st of June. It's cold and wet and windy. Kind of sucks, but it's still cool being out here. Well, I just went and fetched some water from the creek. Washing water. If it's warm enough tomorrow, maybe I'll even take a shower with it. But I looked over to the Tetons. The range is over that way. I looked over there and you can't even see them. It's blacked out. So I think the rain may be headed this way. I don't really know the prevailing winds. It seems like it's this way, but I don't know because I get gusts from both ways. But yeah, most of the wind, I think, prevailing is probably coming from the north. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be the north. Over the mountains, so the north. No, over the mountains is from the west, so it's coming from Idaho, which makes a lot of sense. That's the direction it should be coming. Anyway, so might have a storm coming in. I'm caught up with everything except charging my battery. I would like to get some work done, but I'm afraid to pull the laptop out because it's all of a sudden it's in danger. I've got to go whoop, 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 and then scatter and try to cover everything else. I'm relatively sheltered in here, except when the freaking winds come, man. Especially winds like yesterday, just insane. Picking up a stone this big. I mean, they had to be 20, 30 pounds at least. And I had 2 of them, so 40 pounds of rock just whoop, like they weren't even there. Anyway, you know, really, if you think about it, this is an airplane or a kite, a really big kite, which is an airplane. I thought most of the storming would be over with. I saw it coming over the Tetons and thinking, okay, it's petering out, sun's going down. Less dynamic weather, and it's 5 o'clock here.